Hello everyone and welcome to our second top 10 transfer video of the 2022 transfers, and make sure to check out our first transfer video out for this year to make sure we haven't missed out your favorite rider, of course. So without further ado, here is another top 10 transfers of the 2022 transfer season. Coming in at number 10, we have Odd Christian Eiking from Intermache Wanty Gobert to EF Education Nippo. Nordic cycling has popped up lately in the cycling world, and in the Vuelta a España this year, Odd Christian Eiking grabbed headlines by donning the red jersey after finishing 5th on stage 10. He managed to hold on to that jersey until stage 16, but it didn't go unnoticed, and the Norwegian also finished 11th overall. So for the 2022 season, he will of course be changing to EF Education Nippo, and potentially this will be a very interesting transfer indeed. Next on our list is one of the riders to leave Astana Premier Tech, and that is Izaguirre, who will be heading to the French World Tour team Cofidis after much speculation of him joining his brother Gorka at Movistar. Alas, the two brothers will be separated for the first time in a long time. Ion has had a mixed season with a podium finish in Paris-Nice overall earlier in the year and many top 10 overalls in other World Tour stage races. It'll be interesting to see if Izaguirre is actually the rider who is going to end the stage winning drought for Cofidis in the Tour de France, or potentially he could get a high placed result in the GC as well in a Grand Tour. But he will probably be a vital asset for Guillaume Martin, who will chase a higher position next year in the Tour de France. In 8th place on our list, we have Sergio Higuito, who had a brilliant 2020 season, but the 2021 season has lacked the top end results a bit for him. He did manage to finish off the season with an impressive 10th place at the final race of the season in terms of the World Tour, Il Lombardia. The Colombian will be heading to Bora-Hansgrohe, and perhaps the change will do Higuita a world of good, and he can target some of the hillier one-day races in 2022. Next on the list, we have the American climber John Dombrowski, who will be moving from UAE Team Emirates to Astana for the 2022 season. Joe Dombrowski was seen as one of the future stars of cycling when he won the Under-23 Giro in 2012, and accordingly signed with Sky. Since then, his career has been going a bit up and down, but in 2021, he managed to clinch his first Grand Tour stage win of his career, which was on stage 4 up Sestola. That was the highlight of the season, and potentially this could be more to come for the American rider. In 6th place, we have the Australian climber Jade Hindley, who will be switching DSM out for Bora-Hansgrohe. Jade Hindley had an incredible 2020 Giro d'Italia, finishing on the podium and winning a stage win along the way as well. But unfortunately, his 2021 could not match that expectation. But hopefully this move will freshen up the 25-year-old and spur him on for more success. Now we come into our top 5, and we have another Australian, this in the former Michael Storer, who signed with Groupama-FDJ, switching again from DSM as well in 2022. He had an incredible 2021 season, winning the Tour de l'Ain overall, along with a stage win, and also went on to the Vuelta a España, where he took 2 stage victories. On top of that, he also won the Mountains Jersey classification as well. At Groupama-FDJ, he could prosper, and it definitely is going to be very exciting for the 24-year-old, and hopefully Groupama-FDJ will nurture him for 2022. Coming in at 4th place, we have David de la Cruz, who has decided to change UAE Team Emirates out for Astana as well. De la Cruz has been a solid climbing domestique for Tadej Pogačar, so it might be a bit of an issue to replace the Spanish rider for the forthcoming season. David de la Cruz had a strong finish to the year with a 7th place finish overall in the Vuelta a España, so perhaps he will be given a more central role in one of the Grand Tours for Astana, as they don't have that high riders in the GC for Grand Tours anymore. Coming in at number 3, we have Miguel Angel Lopez moving from Movistar to Astana. It almost seems like deja vu. It was only last year we discussed Miguel Angel Lopez heading to Movistar from Astana, and the transfer has unfortunately not seemed to have had a happy ending, as Miguel Angel Lopez is off back to Astana after merely a year. The results this season haven't been major, winning minor Spanish races and the Mont Ventoux Challenge, but in the World Tour the results have been a bit dry, but it looked like his season was saved in the Vuelta a España, where he salvaged the stage victory and was well on track to take a podium position. However, unfortunately for Miguel Angel Lopez, he missed a vital move on one of the crucial stages, and this meant Miguel Angel Lopez was slipping down the podium, and unfortunately he decided to quit the Vuelta a España, and that meant that Miguel Angel Lopez didn't manage to finish the Vuelta a España, and he spoke later about his frustration that he was missing another podium at the Vuelta a España. So a sad ending to what could have been a very prosperous relationship for Miguel Angel Lopez and Movistar, but the parties have decided to split. Hopefully Miguel Angel Lopez will find his old consistent Grand Tour form, as he was one of the most consistent Grand Tour riders before he came to Movistar. So hopefully Astana can find that for him. Coming in at number 2, we have Ivan Souza moving from Ineos Grenadiers to Movistar. The final Colombian on our list is Ivan Souza, who's also one of the most hyped up riders for a long time. The 2-time Vuelta a Burgos winner, Ivan Souza, will change from Ineos Grenadiers to Movistar, and hopefully he will not emulate the Miguel Angel Lopez saga, but rather the start of Nairo Quintana's stint at Movistar. The young starlet might be given more of a free rein to ride for his own chances, but don't hold your breath at Movistar as long as Alejandro Valverde is there. He could breathe a bit of fresh air into Movistar, but we'll have to wait and see, and it would be great to see this young, talented Colombian do something special. So before we get into the first rider on our list, make sure to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with all the videos we're doing here on the Cycling Dane, and of course make sure to comment down below which rider you thought was the best transfer of 2022. Anyways, first on our list is the sometimes controversial rider Gianni Moscon, who will not be riding for the British World Tour team Ineos Grenadiers for the first time since joining them in 2016. He will rather, for the 2022 season, be riding for Astana, and this could potentially be a very strong move for Gianni Moscon, so he can ride for his own chances rather than being in the services of other riders, as we saw in the Giro d'Italia, where he was working very well for Egan Bernal, who ultimately won. And potentially there is an opportunity for Gianni Moscon to be leading the Astana Classics team as well throughout the whole year. He's had a number of impressive results in 2021. He took 2 stage wins in the Tour of the Alps and several top 10 finishes in one-day races, such as the San Sebastian Classic, the Giro del Toscana, and the Coppa Sabatini. On top of that, he also won the GB Lugano, which was a very prestigious race in the past. And of course, we can't not mention his incredible performance in Paris-Roubaix, where it almost looked like he was going to win his first monument of his career, but alas for that crash. So that's basically it for our list, and of course make sure, if you think I've missed any transfers out, to check out our first video as mentioned before, and of course make sure to let me know down below which of these riders was your favorite transfers of 2022, and make sure to subscribe to the channel to not miss out on any videos on the channel. And of course, thank you as always for watching, and have a nice day.